Hi, I'm Rob Andrews from Allied Brass, and today we're going to work on installing our pull-out garment rod, which is an amazing product once you understand how it works. So before we go through the installation steps, I would like to talk a little bit about installation location, because that is the most important thing and the most difficult thing about getting this thing installed. The actual installation is very simple. So if you look at the rod, the important thing to note is the length of the rod. So this cannot go into a wall location where there's no wall for the rod to sink into. So there has to be a corner wall where that you have the depth of the wall to go into. So I'm going to demonstrate pretty clearly. We're going to just walk over here to a place where we can easily see the depth of the wall. Alright, so this is our dining room, so we probably wouldn't put one here, but nonetheless, it's an easy wall for us to see. So, you can see if you were putting it in the wall here, where there's no wall that is perpendicular, then you can see how the rod would extend from the wall, right? So, when it's out, of course, then it's no problem. But when it would recess in, to put it away when you're not using it, then it would stick out of the other side of the wall. So that's why we can't put it in a location like this. You have to find a location like this here. I'm going to stand to the side so you can see better, I'm sorry. So on this kind of a location, then when you recess it in when you're not using it, it sits inside the wall. Imagine this were installed in the center line of the wall over here. This would sit inside the wall. And then you extend it out. To use it, you hang your garments or your dry cleaning or clothes to dry or getting ready in the morning or whatever it is that you need temporary hanging space for, you extend it out. When you're done, you recess it away and then it's in the wall. So that is really the key to understanding this product, is to understanding the installation location. All right, so now we're going to go back to the bathroom and do the install. All right, so here we are back in the bathroom where we're going to install the garment rod. Now, I do want to mention that we also have this really cool new product, which is the sister of the garment rod, and we call this a retractable hook. So you see the depth of the hook here. It is short enough to be able to put in the wall anywhere. It doesn't give you as much hanging space, but it can go in any location. It doesn't need the depth of the corner wall like the garment rod does. So just to be aware, if you need to install something like this in a different location, that this is available. Okay, so first thing that we want to do is decide where we're going to put it. Now, I just got myself a little step stool here because I want to put it high. I want to put it at a height where it's not going to hit my head. Right? So you don't want to put it too low, because if it's extended and it's too low, it's possible that it could hit you. So what you want to do is install it, at a height that's comfortable for you to reach, for you to hang your garments on, or hang whatever you want on. It could be a towel or anything else, a robe. So you want to have it at that height where you're not going to bump into it, but yet you can still reach it. All right, so that's why I have the step stool. So what I do, first thing, I would remove this cap from the end. Okay, and just threads out very simply, just like that. And we also, as a side note, we have little adapters that could allow you to put any knob that you want on the end. So if you don't like this flat knob or one of the other knobs that we offer, you can put any knob on the end of this that would coordinate with anything else in your house that you would have. Okay, so I'm going to take the cap off, and the reason I take the cap off is so that I can get this housing out like that, because then it can slide, the rod can slide out of the product just like that. Alright, so now this is the piece that we need for installation. So this decorative piece screws off of that right there. So this housing screws onto that. So first thing I'm going to do, decide where I want to put it. And what I'm going to do for that is just kind of see where I like this. It can't be too far this way, right? Because then it's going to be not into the wall depth. So I'm going to put it, I think, I like that height right about there. All right, that'll still be good. I can still hang. I'm not going to hit my head. All right, and it's not too far over this way. It's in a good spot. Okay, So maybe, so again, if you figure the depth of the wall, it's about 4 inches. You want the center line here, to be so you don't overhang it. This diameter is 2 inches, so you want to be no more than an inch from the edge of the wall. So once you find your spot, make a mark. All right, and then once you make your mark, you're in good shape. So we're going to put all this away. Now the first thing I'm going to do is get my paper towel trick going. So what I do there, I get a piece of painter's tape, and I use that just to catch some of the dust so we don't make such a mess. And then I cover just a little piece of the paper towel like that, and I'm going to put that below where we're going to drill, and that's going to catch some dust. So first thing that I like to do is drill a pilot hole just to see what we're going to bump into, so we don't make a hole too big just in case we decide to change our minds. So you're going to get on a step stool because you don't want to drill at an angle. You want to make sure you drill level. All right, so I'm up here on my mark, and I'm just going to, drill the hole, and there we go. Going into wood, and so that's that. Now I got to change that drill bit. So before I do that, I am just going to take this. Could have had a better place to put that, but that's what I prepared myself for at the moment. Okay. I want it to stay in the frame, so I want to walk out to get rid of the garbage in there. So here I'm going to change my drill bit. Now, this diameter here of the handle, this is the part that goes in the wall, that's 3/4 inch on the outer diameter. So we need a 3/4 inch hole for that to fit into. So what I'm going to use is a 3/4 inch paddle bit. This is called a paddle bit. Okay, so you could use any kind of drill that you're comfortable using, but I prefer to use the paddle bit. Okay, and there's our pilot hole. So again, we want to make sure that we go straight. It's important to go straight, especially once we're boring into the wood. Oops, and there we go. You see that? I didn't remember. Once you start losing some dust, then you'll remember to put my handy dust catcher right there. All right. And see. I don't think I got all the way through yet. Let's just see if that goes. Nope, it does not. So I am going to extend my bit a little bit. All right, so I can get a little more reach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an extension piece, because I got a long piece of wood there. So I'll be right back. All right, I just got a bit extension. So let's see how that does. All right, so we're gonna go back into our hole. Gonna get back the right spot there. Gonna get our dust collector going. Let's see. so we must have had an extra piece of wood in there or something that made us go a little bit deeper than normal, but that's how you get through it. And so now you see we're going without a problem. So now, important, when you go to put the housing on, you put the rod in first, because once this is in there, you can't put the rod on. All right, it has a little stop built into the back, which you can see right there. So here, just stick that right in. Now, we get our wood screws that are supplied with it. And you're just gonna come up here. Oops. We don't want to do that. All right, so what we want to do is hang on to the screw. And there we go. You just got to, the other thing is you got to make sure that this doesn't go in, because then you'll lose it. So you got to hang on to that while you're putting the screw in. Okay, that's one screw. Here's two screws. And whoops. All right. We are gonna get. We're going to be not lazy now. I'm going to get myself a little drill. I'll be right back. Okay, now what we're going to do is drill pilot holes in the screw holes for the bracket that goes in the wall there. So now we want to be certain when we're working that this rod does not go beyond the housing, because then you'll lose it in the wall and then you can't get it back. So we're going to drill 3 pilot holes. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right, now once we get our pilot holes done, we're going to put our screws in. Okay, there we go. And now remember, hold that rod so we don't lose it. All right, there's 1. And we'll tighten them up after we get the 3 of them started. That's 2. And here comes number 3. So again, be mindful of the rod that doesn't slip away. Alright, that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now, the next step is we're going to get the rosette, put it over the rod, and make sure the rod doesn't push in. And then that's just going to thread right on to the housing that was there. So there we have, hides that mounting piece. And then here's the cap that we took off originally. I'm going to thread that back on. And there we go. So now it recesses away. If you want to use it, you pull it out. You hang your beautiful garments. When you're done, you put it away. And that's it for our garment rod installation. Thank you very much for buying an Allied Draft Pod.